I'm Ricky.
I'm Mike.
And we're challenging the outdoors.
If you want to learn how to light a fire in wet conditions,
stay tuned and find out.
So Ricky, the first thing I need you to do is go get Tinder.
Okay, but I don't see what a dating app has to do with anything.
Dating app? No, Tinder.
It's a dating app.
No. No, Tinder to like small stuff to light a fire, not.
Oh,
you dork.
I knew that.
So in Florida, one of the best things that you can use for tinder is palm frond bushes. If you look around the bottom or the base of or the trunk of a palm frond tree or palm tree, there is some hairy, like really hairy, thin stuff, and that is perfect tinder in Florida. Most of the time, it is dry during wet season because it's behind wood, so you can peel the wood off and get to it. And that's one of the best things to use in Florida.
Here we are out here trying to find stuff to start a fire. There's three basic elements you're gonna need. You're gonna need the tinder, you're gonna need the kindling, and you're gonna need the wood. So it shouldn't be too hard considering there's trees everywhere and tons of possibilities to do this and to find exactly what you need in order to start a fire, even in wet conditions.
All right, guys, we're out here. We were looking for palm fronds, and we're walking through the woods, and we just so happened to come across this. Come over here.
Take this out.
Look at this. This right here is the next best thing to lighting a fire in Florida. Come up real close right here. This is called lighter wood or lighter knot, and people, it's basically an old pine tree. It's the center of a pine tree, and it burns really well. It's like gas almost. So we're gonna get some of this, and we're gonna bring it back with us. We're still looking for some tinder to light the fire to begin with, but this works really good to start even wet weather or any kind of weather.
Yeah, we just need some small slithers in my mouth. So there we go. Boom. Hold on, this thorn is in my way. All this stuff. It seems like no matter where you go, you find something interesting. And look what we found right here. You ain't gonna believe this. What we got here? Is this like a katana?
Mine's bigger.
I don't know. This is kind of long. it's pretty long, but yeah. But yours is a lot stronger. Let's test out the thickness of this knife. Ah, hell no. It needs a grip. If I bet you we put a grip on this, it'll work good. Put down a comment if you guys want to see us use this as in our next survival video. All right.
Oh, he got a spider on him. You hit right into one, didn't you?
Yeah. Yo, check me out. Do I got a spider on me?
No, you're good.
God, dog, it was all over my face. Dude, don't do that to me. We found our first piece. We found some tinder, or a possibility of finding a good location for some tinder. So we're gonna look right down in here. Let's go ahead and Mike gonna show them what we're gonna be doing right here.
We're gonna chop this sucker.
Real nice, like.
Yeah. Alright, so
we're just bringing it up close.
I'm just clearing a little path there so you can kind of see down in here. But this is what I was talking about. See that there? It's real hairy. This one's actually kind of wet, but we might be able to still do something with it. This stuff works really good in Florida. Usually on the bigger palm frond bushes. This one's not very big, but the bigger ones that got like a lot more stuff hanging over, they're dry. These ones are damp.
The key is when you're out there looking for some good tinder, You want to make sure that it's airy, like really airy. It's not so thick and easily ignitable. And you want it to be able to carry that ignition for a good duration to make sure it gets to that kindling as well. So, or make mustaches.
It's me, Mario!
Okay, like right now, we're looking for very dry wood, and this wood looks pretty dry. You want to have a slow progression coming up to the bigger pieces, especially in wet conditions, because the littler pieces will burn easier. Right now you want to do your best to really avoid the green wood, like fresh wood, because they take a lot longer to catch on fire. And when you're in the woods, you typically can find dry wood anywhere.
All right, guys, so we already went ahead and we've got some logs. We cut them up, and we're gonna split them and use them for the firewood. We've got some fat lighter. We cut up a couple more pieces in case we need some more. The fat lighter is the lighter wood. And then over here we've got some small sticks that we're gonna use for kindling. Right there, and then we've got a little bit bigger ones. What you wanna do when you go to light your fire, you wanna start out with the smallest, thinnest stuff, and you want it to be as dry as possible, which this isn't. And then you wanna work your way up. Okay, once you get that lit, you want to put something a little bit bigger on top. Then you want to go with a little bit bigger than that. And then by the time you get that going nice and hot, it's time for the big stuff.
Right now we started with some kindle. We put a nice bed of kindle here, so that way when the fire starts coming, it starts to build some coal in there to generate some heat to dry up the bigger pieces. Now we're going to go ahead and put our tinder right on top of that. But we're also right here really quickly, we're going to have our other kindling, and we're just gonna put it right on top of it as it's catching on fire.
So being out in the woods and it's wet, it's actually drizzling right now. It's raining.
Yeah.
So what I've got here, I've got waterproof matches and I've got a lighter. So we're gonna find out which one works the best maybe.
Yeah, let's try out the waterproof real quick.
Yeah, let's try out the waterproof, and lighter is what everybody uses, so why not use something different? All right, so here we go, we're gonna try it. Okay.
Fail!
Alright, that was number one. I don't want to strike it that.
You know, the importance is to make sure that your wood is always dry.
Okay, so this dude. Alright, so we're gonna try this again. It's a little bit damp now because I had it out for a few minutes, but okay, here we go. There we go. Fire!
Fire. Boom.
Give me fuel, give me fire.
Let's see if we can get this kindling going.
Alright,
Drop it in there.
It's not going that well.
Nope, it is not.
It is really damp.
Well, that worked. Okay, let's put our kindling.
And it's failing. Alright, so listen, it's a good thing that we happened to find that fat lighter when we was out in the woods, because you're not always going to find really good tinder to light a fire. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going to like stand this up in the ground just a little bit there so it stands on its own so I don't cut my fingers, and we're going to cut some little slithers off of this thing. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful.
Right. And I'm using a different method myself. My method is just like cutting it off on the slivers. Yo, it smells so good though. Like fat lighter smells so good. It smells like straight out pine saw. Like it smells so good. I like it. All right, let's go ahead and try to get this fat lighter lit.
All right, so this time I'm gonna go with the lighter, just to change it up a little bit. And that's one of the things when you're out in the woods and say you're in a survival situation. Most people have a lighter. I mean, a lot of people have a lighter. I see a lot of these shows where people have got, you know, they're rubbing wood together and all that kind of stuff, and you know, look in your pocket, you might have a lighter.
Yes. So we're just stacking up the fat lighter to really see if we could ignite the kindling that's underneath. The fat lighter has a special kind of tree sap inside the wood that makes it highly combustible. Highly combustible. And with these slithers being so thin, and with these dry conditions, it makes the perfect fire starting tool. So now we work really quickly.
You want to start building it up. The goal is to get some coals in there. Okay?
Yeah. Use the kindling, but don't stack it so tight that you suffocate your flame. As you can see right now that the fat lighter is really taking an effect. It's really overcoming the wet conditions. So we went ahead and we're gonna stack the kindling really nice on top of it right before we put the bigger log. It's looking like it's not gonna go out. It looks like it's gonna be a success in the rain. From this point on, we can technically just start putting in our bigger pieces of wood.
All right.
You know, you normally know me as raking, but today I'm lumberjack Jack.
Let's see what you got. Damn! Whoa!
I've been working out. Watch this.
What was that? What was that?
Damn tree.
Okay. No excuses this time. No excuses. Look at this guy. Look how buff he is. Look how buff he is.
What'd you say about my mama?
Yeah. Get mad.
My mama does know how to cook rice. My mama does know how to cook rice.
Get mad.
She does.
All right. Hold on.
It's too big.
No. Alright, so when you're splitting a piece of firewood, you kind of want to line up with the grain. I purposely turned the grain sideways on him. Alright, so let's let him try this again one more time and let Macho Man get this wood split up. Come on, Macho Man.
I knew that the whole time. I was doing that for the video.
What are you doing?
You
act like you're in the Olympics or something. This is log splitting.
But isn't that an Olympic sport? That's a lumberjack sport. Remember that.
All right.
Yeah. See. I've been watching.
Our fire's gonna burn out if you don't.
Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! He's.
We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions.
And there you go, guys.
Time for
Look at that. One of the things that you need to make sure of when you get done having a fire. I mean, fires are great. You can cook marshmallows. You can cook. We didn't cook anything today. We're just having fun. But you need to put your fire out, okay? Because I'm a firefighter, and I have to go to a lot of different fires in the woods, and a lot of them could have been prevented, and it's because people didn't put their fire out. You could burn down whole towns.
Literally whole towns.
One of the best things to do if you don't have water, okay? We're out in the woods right now. We don't have any water. So what we want to do is we're going to take something and just kind of spread the fire out, okay? Not spread it out into the bushes, but
Not into anything dry either.
okay.
So
You don't want the logs touching each other because that'll contain heat. When they're by themselves, a log by itself isn't going to burn by itself. So we're just kind of taking the logs, separating them. That piece right there is fat lighter. It might actually burn for a little bit. We're going to spread this out. Spread our coals out a little bit. Then we're going to cover it up with sand. The reason why we're covering it with sand, if it gets windy and one of these little embers gets blown away, then it could land over there. It could land in the pine needles and stuff and end up catching it on fire. So cover it with sand, it can't go.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode on how to start a campfire in wet woods.
Yep. And don't forget to challenge the outdoors and click subscribe.